Hello, everyone. This is Julie Burns, and today, December 22nd, 2024, is my first HR Education Edge weekly update. I'll be coming to you weekly, each and every week, on Sunday evenings to go over weekly HR news, trends, and also to prep you from a compliance standpoint. As mentioned, welcome. This is my very first weekly update. And today's topics that I hope to help you with and keep you ahead of the curve in this very fast moving world of HR. We're going to be talking about just some year-end action items, which you may or may not already know about. Some of the 2025 changes you're probably very well aware of. However, there was one that just came about on December the 19th. You probably don't, maybe not quite yet. We're going to go into talk about employee engagement initiatives and then also trends to watch out for in the new year. But I will be coming to you weekly, so I'm really looking forward to helping you out in your HR journey. Okay, so let's kind of, as we wrap up 2024, most of you are probably going back to work, maybe, tomorrow, maybe just for tomorrow or maybe on Tuesday. I'm not sure what your schedule entails. But I'm sure either you or your payroll department, you're working on the W-2s and 1099s. It's very important, because those will be going out at the end of January, that you verify employee and contractor, addresses, social security numbers, and whatnot. You want to make sure that the deadline is met. You don't want to incur any fines. I'm sure a lot of you, as we look right here, benefits reconciliation, you're probably, wrapping up open enrollment, or you've already wrapped it up and you're just basically looking for any discrepancies. You're making sure everybody gets in the right plan and you're updating your records, because a lot of you, the health insurance for your employees will probably be effective January the 1st. So, a note that I would mention is, maybe give your employees a reminder about their flexible spending accounts or whatnot. And also you may want to mention, go ahead and get your, refills filled or whatnot, because a lot of times the health insurance company won't get the cards to the employees until maybe January the 10th. So you may want to say, hey, you guys may want to go ahead, before the end of the year and fill your prescriptions so there won't be any issues with the insurance. So just give your, when there's benefits and things changing over, you want to keep your employees in mind and think about how it impacts them. So tell them, hey, guess what? You need to spend those FSA funds, and just go ahead and get those prescriptions filled, before you don't have a health insurance card until the next year. Policy reviews, you're probably already looking at your employee handbook. I actually, on Etsy, I have, for those that don't know me, I have an HR Education Edge website where I have HR templates. And so last night I updated the employee handbook template 2025. So you're welcome to go on to there and purchase that. I made some updates from a national standpoint, such as there is a lactation accommodation that went into effect. Also, the Pregnancy Workers Fairness Act should be incorporated into that, and along with some other items surrounding harassment if you have 15 employees and whatnot. So state regulations, you'll need to look at that. But from a federal standpoint, I worked on this handbook and it's in my Etsy store and it is now updated. Moving right along. So what's changing? Okay, if you're in HR, you probably already know this, but I just went ahead and listed it out. for those that, may or may not, or maybe they're not, or maybe you're just an up and coming HR, person, and you're just learning. So in turn, this weekly update can actually help you in your HR journey just to understand, hey, what's going on. You may not be in charge of everything. You may just be in charge of employee relations, but maybe not benefits. But you'll know a little bit more about what's going on. As far as 401k is concerned, the maximum amount individuals can contribute to their 401k is increasing to $23,500, up from $23,000 in 2024. So make sure that you know that, and have made changes on your end within your HR system and your payroll systems also. There's also an enhanced catch-up contribution for individuals from ages 60 to 63. Yeah, there's a new provision, and allows those individuals to make a higher catch-up contribution. So I think that's great for them. So this enhanced catch-up contribution is set at $11,250. Okay. You may not know about this one, but on December the 19th, the IRS revealed that the rate will increase by 3 cents. When you turn in your business expenses and reimbursements as far as driving and whatnot, it's going up from 67 cents per mile, effective January 1, to 70 cents per mile. So you're going to want to change that in your reimbursement policies. Also, if you have health FSAs and whatnot, and health savings accounts, these are also some changes. I'm going to try to move this without messing anything up. Okay, I'm going back to it now. Sorry guys. With health FSA, the maximum annual contribution is going to rise to $3,300, up from $3,200. And then, as mentioned, for FSAs, you can carry over more of your unused funds. The maximum carryover amount has increased to $660 in 2025, and that's $20 more from 2024. And then health savings accounts, contribution limits, the annual contribution limit will increase to $4,300, up from $4,150. And family coverage, the limit will rise to $8,550, up from $8,300. So you're going to need to make changes with regards to that in your benefits documentation. And if you need any help with that, you can also go on my Etsy site. I have lots of benefits templates that will assist you, whether maybe next year for open enrollment, or maybe if you have your open enrollment at the beginning of the year at another time, around March or something. You can take a look at that. But moving right along, let's keep going. So when we're thinking about changes, I also want you to think about, make sure, do a double check on your state. I'm in Georgia, so there's nothing going on there. But if you're in California, if you're in New York, you're in Washington, you're just definitely in California, check out that minimum wage. And also in Colorado, there are some changes effective January 1. And also in July 1, there's a lot. There's many states that are impacted by this minimum wage. So you want to make sure that your payroll department is on top of that. There's also a lot of changes to paid family leave, sick leave policy, and paid sick leave. I'm going to move this and I'll probably take things off again. No, it didn't. Just make sure in your state that your policies are up to date and your accrual schedules are up to date based on what's going on in your particular state. And while this really isn't a change or whatnot, I want you to kind of, as an HR professional, just kind of, keep your ears perked up. There are actually, as an HR professional, when I worked in a manufacturing facility, I didn't realize it at the time, but I did realize it at the time because I came across, I think I went to an HR conference and they talked about state specific hiring and training credits. So I want to challenge you that maybe going into this year or perhaps last year and you didn't know about it and you can actually go back and capture the information. Your state more than likely has some state specific hiring and training tax credits that could really help out your organization with their tax bill or whatnot around tax time. So be sure to check that out. I think that's always very, very important. You don't realize how much those credits can help offset a lot of the expenses. Fantastic. Okay. All right. I want you to also go into, and we'll be talking next Sunday also, but I want you to go ahead and start thinking about the new year, and I want you to start strong. And know that employee engagement is number one, should be a number one laser focused priority within your organization. There's a lot going on in organizations across so many different industries, and it's so important to put employees at the forefront, especially, a lot of employees work at home and whatnot. You want to be able to keep them engaged, and but you know what? You have to have a plan. So right here, you can see launch an employee engagement calendar. On my Etsy page, there's an employee engagement calendar, and I actually created it. There's all 12 months. Each month has a theme. There's some great ideas. There's some that you may or may not want to use, or you may want to use. A lot of it speaks to core values and missions and recognition and recognizing employees for their great job and how they contribute to the organizational goals of the company. But this, as an HR professional, needs to be one of your primary focuses, is employee engagement. And as mentioned, recognition programs, peer-to-peer. Maybe this is an actual template in my store where you can cut this up into like 4 different sections and put it outside maybe your HR office, or maybe put it up on the internet or whatnot, and allow employees to be able to nominate employees of the month. It's a great idea. Also, I have a star card that I've created right here where employees can maybe you may want to implement something along these lines, like recognize an employee star, and have these cards outside your HR office or online where other employees can recognize, their coworkers. It makes a huge difference. And then these cards end up on an employee bulletin board, whether it's virtual or an actual physical bulletin board. It makes a huge amount of difference. I'll tell you what, a long time ago, I read a study where employees being recognized it increased retention, and that's obvious, but it increased retention more than even a dollar bonus amount, which I thought was very, very interesting. So recognition is huge, and I would encourage, and it's free pretty much, unless you want to do like an end of the year party or whatnot, or you want to put money towards it. But recognition at its basic core is very, very powerful. You also want to look for perhaps some new onboarding improvements within your organization, such as some of your new hire processes. This new hire onboarding checklist has, no joke, 100 lines. If you go line by line by line by line, your employee will be onboarded and will know what they're doing, will be trained, will have all the right paperwork. I encourage you to take a look at it on my Etsy page. I also have a lot of employee onboarding agendas and schedules and training documents. Right here you see there's an employee onboarding agenda, and literally this is by 15-minute increments. Trust me, I've actually done this. Where the employee comes in the first day, their first 15 minutes they're doing this, their next 15 minutes they're doing that. It's so important when you're onboarding a new employee, those first 90 days, that is when this employee is going to say, yes, I'm going to stay with this company, or no, I don't think I'm going to stay with this company. They didn't care enough to provide me an agenda. They didn't care enough to give me what I needed. So let's work on that this year. So going to start that strong. Moving right along. Okay, and just some trends to watch for, and we move this out of the way. Yes, it could mess up again, maybe. Okay. All right, hybrid work evolution. I'm sure if you're in HR, you may or may not already have some employees that are, working from home. Make sure you refine your remote and hybrid policies. Well-being. Right now, the holidays is really hard on a lot of employees. So really, take the time to talk to them, talk to employees. If you think something's going on with them, just say, hey, let's have a chat in my office. And let's speak to what's going on with you or whatever. I've noticed you're not as happy. Just be that person, be that HR professional that keeps a professional stance, yet you're keyed in onto, the pulse of what's going on in the organization. There's also another trend is the increased use of AI in the organization. We're not going to dive into that today at all, but it will. We will be speaking about that in upcoming Sundays. This is also an ebook I created in my HR store. The importance of employee wellness in the workplace, and it's about 25 pages. It has a lot of worksheets in it. It's really worth your time to go and look at. Okay, looking ahead in January 2025, but I'll be speaking to you guys in 7 days. So I'll be making another video next Sunday, and we'll talk a little bit more about January and, some of the requirements for safety, harassment prevention. I know those types of trainings are required, and I know New York has some regulations. I think California has them that are mandatory, but we'll speak to that. And also the ACA, which I've created an HR calendar of key dates. I actually took it down out of my Etsy store just a little while ago because I noticed that I needed to add additional items. But going back to this January ACA reporting, you'll see that there are a lot of these forms that are going to be need to be delivered to the employees on the 31st. So, and it's within the calendar, but I'm going to put the calendar back up, probably in the next hour or two. I just needed to make some more updates. Tax season prep and strategic planning. So those are just looking ahead things. But I would encourage you guys to look at my, make sure everything is up to date, as far as things moving along in the future. And I'm going to move this. All right. I encourage you to, this is a video. I wanted to, it'll probably, in the future, I'm going to probably be doing more face-to-face, but for this very first video, I wanted to have something very, very structured, and I may actually have keep it structured, but actually have me talking in the background a little bit more, and I can go on side notes with it. But I want you to know that this resource will be available to you. I look forward to helping you as an HR professional, keep you up to date every week about what's going on, what do you need to be looking out for? Do your OSHA posters need to go up, this time? When does safety training need to happen? Oh no, is there a new regulation? Is there something going on with the Fair Labor Standards Act? Just know that I'll be doing this weekly for you. So please subscribe and also hit like on this video, and be sure to visit my Etsy shop. I would love for you to go in there and see if you see any cool items. They're digital downloads, but there's a lot of really cool things I've worked on that I'm really excited about. And there's as mentioned, there's that employee engagement calendar to get your employees excited about 2025. So I'm super excited about being able to bring this to all you HR professionals each and every week. So as mentioned, please subscribe. I hope you're enjoying the holidays, and take care, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much.